It's Madden NFL 24. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. Next on EA Sports.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, what a season it was for these Eagles and these Philly fans last year. An 8-0 start, 14-3 final record, 2 blowout wins in the NFC playoffs before coming up a bit short in Super Bowl 57.
And a good thing for Philadelphia as they try and get back to the Super Bowl, many of the key pieces they had last year are back. Remember, this is the number 3 offense in the league, number 2 defense, and they threw in a heck of an NFL draft. They expect to contend one more time.
And then for the visiting Bears, they want to wipe the slate clean from 2022. Now, working in their favor, we've seen plenty of teams in the NFL make big turnarounds from year to year. What can the Bears do to just get back closer to maybe 7-8 wins, Charles?
Well, they want to coalesce all this young talent that they're accumulating and guys that they brought in from the outside and start to build a culture, a feeling around this team that they know they can compete week in and week out.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And not only does he have all the skills that you're looking for as a quarterback, he's incredibly tough and plays the game fearlessly as both a runner and a passer. You provide a good running game around him and let him throw deep off of play action, you've got an all-star in the making.
Fields passing on the first play from scrimmage. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Travis Homer, the former Miami Hurricane. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
On first down, Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. A man who led the league in yards per carry last year, it's Khalil Herbert. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Off play action. Fields. He hits Mooney going across the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And the Bears are going to have a first and goal as some good running there gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice.
Touchdown, Bears! Justin Fields fighting Darnell Mooney. And the Bears will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go with a former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Hurts. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. Here's Hurts to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A good pickup there, a 22.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Flush to his right. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now a first down throw, Fields. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
On first down, it's Fields. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Second and 10. Fields again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's one way you take away a first down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. They'll start by running the option to the right. Hurts fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Now the point after try for Santos. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
From the gun, here's Swift. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. From the 43, here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
And 99 yards to go if they want to do just that. From his own end zone, Fields. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Fields on 3rd down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match. And maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Swift. Gets past one man. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still 2nd down.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Watkins. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. From the gun, it's Hurts. Goes right back to Smith again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had to feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the 1st half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now Herbert to start the drive, and he edges forward but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. In motion left, Claypool. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Oh, an absolutely filthy joke. He's got some space now. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
A give left side here for Herbert. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Here's Fields. And And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And here's Trenton Gill on to punt. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith.
Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Looking to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And his throw here's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Hurts. He's got Watkins on the out route. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Hurts to throw.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
On first down, Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Still 9 remaining on second down. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And they have a first down and well into field goal range also at the 16 now.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a 1-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. A handoff, Swift running to the left. Dances by him. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Got him in. It's Brown. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 38.
Throwing is Hurts.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Back to throw here. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the 1st down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Touchdown!
Devontae Smith on the receiving end for Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead.
Hurts will throw.
And that is caught for the 2 points. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 24.
Starting on the ground with Herbert.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
The tackle by Nakobe Dean.
The 4-3 defense there did its job, funneled things right to the middle linebacker.
If they do a nice job of playing team defense, everyone takes care of their responsibilities. That allows that guy in the middle to do his job, which is search and destroy.
Back to throw. Fields. Complete to Mooney on the slant. Fields to Mooney for the Chicago 1st.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
On play action, Fields. That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney.
That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Draw play, a give to Herbert.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Fields going to keep it running left.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense.
He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And let me tell you, that wasn't as easy as it looked. Dancing away and moving forward for 6 yards.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams would take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. Quick slant to Brown.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 11 yards for number 11.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope.
They go play action with Hurts.
And this is caught. It's Brown. He got 29 yards that time.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs, and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Swift. Bowling his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play. Multiple plays that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. From the gun, here's Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now Fields.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
On 1st down, it's Fields. And again, back to Kmet.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Darnell Mooney, the target there.
And it's 3rd down.
Play action. It's Fields. Got a man. It's Tunyon.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
A handoff for Herbert.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 3. A shotgun snap, Fields. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defensive side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at the 33-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Hurts. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw.
Hurts fumbles it.
And this is picked up by the Bears. And now off to the races down the right side. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Santos now to add the PAT. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here's Hurts to throw.
Nice move at the 40. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first, after the D blanket his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Swift.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
51 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They'll try it now with Swift.
And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Bears will get the football back. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop him. I like the confidence he showed.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At the 34. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 1. Now it's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Meanwhile, Fields throw there, hauled in by Claypool.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Fields throwing again. Claypool with another catch. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, get me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert.
And he is going to lose yardage here. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the...
And it's caught! It's a touchdown! So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Now the point after try for Santos. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. This fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Second down, 8 yards to go. Throwing is Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Let's go, y'all.
Here comes 2nd down. Swift going to try up the middle. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Bears who will have the first chance to win this thing as we are underway here in overtime. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Onto the field now come the Bears.
Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney.
That's good for 28 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
From the gun, here's Fields. There's Mooney with another catch.
10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term, momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
Herbert powering up the middle.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields complete to Mooney on the slant.
They'll give him 4 yards there. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And this one is no good. He missed it. And that changes everything here in OT.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position to win the game, and I'll get it done. With this kick, not on target, and we'll keep going here.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So nothing doing there, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That goes for a gain of 31.
Just straight money right there. The biggest drive of the game, a chance to win it in overtime. If they've been saving that play, they sure pulled it out at the right time. A huge turn of events there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
He delivers another to Goddard, complete.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, right now, every little bit of yardage helps. So they're obviously well within his range. It's just about keeping the football and getting in the right spot.
Know your kicker. Get, as you mentioned, get it to the right spot, the place that he wants to kick it from. And if you do decide to throw the football, it either goes to your team or no one. It's the only kind of throw you make.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Hurts.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to score.
And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different, but ultimately time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short, and they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.